ask all of you to wait and hear the truth before you label or condemn me. Don't treat me like a criminal, because I am innocent.
One of the sheriffs came to me and said, you know, you've got the best seat in the house. And I said, well, why? And he said, because you're sitting right behind Michael, and when we find him guilty, we're going to get him out of there so fast that your head's going to spin. These people had already decided that Michael was guilty, and they were sure of it, so sure that they had an exit plan to get him out of there.
Superior Court of the State of California for the County of Santa Barbara, Santa Maria Division. The people of the State of California, plaintiff versus Michael Joe Jackson, defendant. Case number 1133603. Verdict. We, the jury, in the above entitled case, find the defendant not guilty of lewd act upon a minor child as charged in count 4.
Out here, outside the courtroom, the cries and cheers became louder and louder with each finding of the jury that Michael Jackson was not guilty. Michael Jackson himself, the first time we've seen him since being acquitted on these charges, just walking through the court, not an emotion on his face.
Not guilty 10 times. Not guilty for Michael Jackson. In California, a dramatic conclusion to one of the most sensational trials in entertainment history.
That Tom Sneddon be indicted for falsifying evidence in the Michael Jackson trial. And I was a witness. I was right there in the courtroom, watched him get caught, false fingerprints evidence, the phone evidence that they tried to create to say there was a conspiracy and all these phone charges, half a day on that. Then Sneddon wanted to withdraw it from the evidence pool in the court. No. The defender, Tom Mesereau, said, that stays on. Judge said, you're right, it's already been entered, it stays. And the jury looked at all this false evidence and said, there's no way we can convict this guy. We got a pile of crap from Tom Sneddon. But Tom Sneddon's probably endorsed you, hasn't he? I mean, this guy literally falsified evidence. And it's on the record. And there's millions of Jackson fans hate Santa Barbara County. But this thing, what he did to Michael Jackson, was so beyond the pale of forgiveness. But I believe Tom Sneddon should be serving time in prison. And that's where he should be getting his, he'll have lots of money in his prison account getting his pension, but he should be in prison. You cannot falsify evidence and then just say, oh, we lost the case. No, no. He had that boy put his fingerprints on the magazine at the grand jury. And the reason we know that because the alert Tom Mesereau, the defense attorney, got the grand jury transcript. And one of the grand jurors said, shouldn't that boy be wearing gloves? Then after the grand jury, they sent it out for fingerprints analysis. So where did the boy get his fingerprint on the magazine when the boy testified he hadn't even been at Neverland for months when that magazine was published? Yet he claimed that was the magazine Michael Jackson gave him in bed. And Tom Sneddon directed all that testimony.
I'm not going to look back and apologize for anything we've done. We did a very conscientious, thorough job, as did the Sheriff's Department, investigating this case.
The doctors are saying there's no chance. Michael said, I will not have that. You bring him to me, and we will coat him with love, and And not only did he extend love to him, but to Star, Davelin, and me. A complete family.
He told me, listen, I need you to get better. You are going to get better. He told me, I need you to eat up all the little cancer cells just like Pac-Man. Go around eating like Pac-Man. And I never forgot that.
Not sick at all. No more cancer. All gone. All gone.
He's taller than me now.
When they told him he was going to die. Isn't that great?
They told my parents to plan for his funeral because there was no chance.
They told your parents to plan for his funeral.
Isn't that precisely the problem? That when you actually invite children into your bed, you never know what's going to happen.
But when you say bed, you're thinking sexual. They make that sexual. It's not sexual.
But
we're going to sleep. I tuck them in. I put a little music on, into a little story time. I read a book. It's very sweet. Put the fireplace on. We give them hot milk. You know, we have little cookies. It's very charming. Very sweet.
Sure.
It's what the whole world should do.
Made Michael Jackson think this was going to be a positive documentary, and Michael trusted him partly because he had worked with Princess Diana, who Michael revered because of her work with children, with animals. Bashir had done a biography of her and had apparently gotten her trust to do that biography, severely influenced Michael Jackson, but it was the biggest mistake he ever made. And he did not expect Mr. Bashir to come out with the product that he came out with. And my opinion, watching it, was that Mr. Bashir was very cleverly and very maliciously manipulating him down a path of destruction.
It's about bringing out what you're about. I'm not trying to embarrass you. I know you don't want to be accused of being... You know, but, man, when people hear that story, they haven't got a clue. The story of your life. I was here yesterday and I saw it, and it's nothing short of a spiritually kind thing.
He does it all the time.
I know, but I've told him. I know.
A lot of people see it, but
they never talk about it.
That's why he doesn't even do interviews anymore. They twist everything. From the moment I met him, I mean, I remember, how can people be so cruel? I read an article and I was crying, and he goes,
It's disgusting. Well, we ain't doing that here.
This was supposed to be a documentary to tell the truth, everything. And who would bring somebody to his life and open up all the way and wanted to lie about it? You know, if you want to lie about it, don't even do it. He didn't have to do this documentary. Nobody forced him to do this documentary.
It's so hard for me to imagine that Michael opened up the gates not only to Neverland, but to his heart, to Bashir. And I really thought that Bashir got it.
I think all of us were shocked and deeply saddened by the news today. Certainly when I made the documentary, there was a small part of that which contained a controversy concerning his relationship with other young people. But the truth is that he was never convicted of any crime. I never saw any wrongdoing myself. And whilst his lifestyle may have been a bit unorthodox, I don't believe it was criminal. And I think the world has now lost the greatest entertainer it's probably ever known.
Greed, money, somewhere greed got in there and somebody, I can't quite say, but it has to do with money. It's Michael Jackson. Look what we have here. We get money out of this. That's exactly what happened.
Why today? And I know you say it's money, but who? I mean, why would he turn around and say, Michael Jackson sexually molested me, if it weren't true?
Because parents have power over children. They feel they have to do what their parents say. But money is the root of all evil, as you know. The love of money is the root of all evil. And this is a sweet child, and to see him turn like this isn't him. This is not him. I love to do things for children, and I try to imitate Jesus. And I'm not saying I am Jesus. I'm not saying
we're clear on that.
Right. I'm trying to imitate Jesus in the fact that he said to be like children, to love children, to be as pure as children are, and to make yourselves as innocent and see the world through eyes of wonderment and the whole magical quality of it all. And I love that. And we have the children, like we'll have like 100 bald-headed children here who they all have cancer, and they're running around and they're enjoying themselves, and it just makes me cry happy tears that I was able to do that for them. You know?
One of the things that really impressed me the most, is that there are built inside the walls here beds for some of those sick children who come. And what I realized when I saw that is that you have to be a person who really cares about children to build it into your architecture.
Yes, yes. We have children that come who are intravenously, they're very sick, and they're bedridden, and they
Can't sit up.
Right, they can't sit up. And these beds, they're hospital beds. You push a button, they move up and they move down, and they're able to watch. We have a magic show. We show the current films, if it's cartoons, anything, you know, and anything so they can escape to that world of magic that they don't get a chance to experience, the world that I was deprived of.
What is your response to the allegations that were brought by the district attorney in Santa Barbara that you molested this boy?
Totally false. Before I would hurt a child, I would slit my wrists. I would never hurt a child. This is totally false. I was outraged. I could never do something like that. I've helped many, many, many children, thousands of children. Cancer kids, leukemia kids. This is one of many.
And we are going to try our best to make a case, okay, a criminal case. We're going to try our best. But you need to understand that we're going to need your cooperation. He grabbed me. He grabbed you? Where did he grab you at? Private area. He grabbed you in your private area? Michael Jackson has done wrong. Michael Jackson has done wrong to you and to your mother, and his friends that work for him or his employees have done wrong. What Michael Jackson has done to you, okay, he's the bad person, not you.
You watch that video and you realize this man has jumped to a conclusion without any investigation at all. That itself showed bias on the part of law enforcement. I think if you also looked at his demeanor, you didn't see someone who was nervous or shy or upset about what he claimed had happened to him.